My top three things would be number one, starting early and probably earlier than you expect to start. The advice that I give people is 1 to 2 years before you even think about getting out, possibly even longer than that. Ideally, I don't think anyone really thinks in this mindset, but once you're in the military, start thinking about what's happening after the military. So if you're in for 4 years, you can start knocking out your college courses, and you can get a full bachelor's, even a master's degree while you're in. And then that's going to take away from your GI Bill, and it's completely free on your part. So just setting up those building blocks for what it's going to look like as you get out. But at a minimum, I'd recommend 1 to 2 years for your ETS date. Start prepping, start figuring out what's going to happen next, and closing those gaps between where you're at right now and where you want to be. And then number two, I would say start talking to people, do informational interviews. So figure out, and the thing is, you're not going to know everything getting out. You might have an expectation that, you're going to know a lot more than you do, but there are a lot of curveballs that get thrown your way regardless of how much planning you do. One of the ways to mitigate that is by speaking with other individuals. So once you figure out, okay, I want to go X company or Y company are two that I'm highly interested in. This is the career field that I want to work in. So I'm going to get on LinkedIn. I'm going to start reaching out to people, figure out who's already in those roles. A best practice that I found is connecting with other veterans that are in those roles, just because you already have that commonality of being in the military. Even if you haven't served in the same unit or in the same branch, at least you're both veterans. It really lowers that barrier when it comes to opening up those communication channels. So do informational interviews, and then I have 50 things written down. I'm trying to figure out what my third one is here. Let's see. So I know we'll probably get into self-identity, so I'll save the self-identity and all of that stuff. I would say third would be start to learn how to properly format and write a resume geared for the civilian world. And then along with that, learn how to interview in the civilian world, and whether you have to go on YouTube and watch examples of it or read different articles, or simply doing informational interviews with others and talking about what their interview experience is like. That was a big surprise for me, because getting out, for whatever reason, I had the assumption that that civilian interviews are going to be like a military promotion board, where they want a 1 to 2 word answer in less than 5 seconds, and you got to have it at the top of your head immediately. And that's definitely not what a lot of civilian employers are looking for. So know how to format and write that resume for the civilian world, as well as how to interview and land that job.